I don't want to get too political because I think this is going on YouTube, but when someone is going to be in control of the food guidelines and they genuinely think that obesity, well, I don't know if it's genuine, there is a motive there, I think. They think obesity is genetic and not at all related to the diet. You think, well, what is the world coming to? Because there's zero sense to that. Genetics, it isn't. It's about environment, because I know from my own story, from absolutely everybody I speak to, what your parents or your guardians or whoever looked after you when you were young, what they ate or what was available to you, that's what you had. I don't remember ever confronting my dad or my mum and saying, do you know what? I really want a ribeye. I don't want any of this cereal. I'm sorry. Just that it doesn't happen. So obviously, if your family has got obesity or problems and it's because of what they eat and you're in that environment, there's a big chance you're going to actually eat the same and act the same. You know, we are very like the people that look after us. Not everybody, but it's clear that it's diet, it's clear that it's lifestyle, it's clear what is causing the problems, absolutely clear. But unfortunately, this message does not make much money for the big food companies and the pharmaceuticals. So, you know, the food companies want to keep sticking seed oils into all their foods because it's profitable. It can stay on a shelf. It won't go rancid. Well, it does go rancid, but it doesn't officially go rancid. Yeah, it doesn't officially go rancid. So they've got this sell-by date. It's very, very profitable, but it's horrendous stuff. Horrendous. So your cell membranes will not be liking you for having seed oils. So yeah, I think I would say that low carb not only improved my body composition, but also my cognitive ability and my clarity about what's going on in the world. And when I was at MeatRx, and I've said it to Sean, you know, to him, I thought he was too political when I first went on to MeatRx. I thought, come on, don't worry about the politics. Let's just talk about diet. Let's talk about nutrition and eating meat. But I 100% now understand why, because the more you get into it, the more you realize that people are pushing and pushing and pushing. And my research, when I'm doing research and I'm looking for a study, you have to be really careful with the keywords you're looking for, because even when you're researching, even when you're trying to be as open as possible, the narrative is pushed at you, constantly pushed at you. You know, I was doing some research on what's essential, right? We just don't know, we get to nitty gritty. Are carbohydrates essential? Of course, they're not essential. So when you start doing the research, you will actually see in the same study many times the categorical statement that carbohydrates are not essential because we make them, If you carry on reading the study, they will even use the word essential and say, but carbohydrates are essential because otherwise you're going to be deficient, in the same study. And then when you challenge the study, which I have done, I have said, you know, you've said this at the beginning, you can contact the authors and you can get replies if you're persistent, especially when I was studying. Now I've got the degree, I don't do this so much. And you query it and say, you say it's not essential, then you say it is essential, and you've said these reasons. Could you back this up? And tell you, every time they challenge, not one was able to back up the eating fruit and veg is essential element.